Lovely starshine lights my way to bed. Magic rainbows glisten in my head. Just like a child I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true. Heavy shackles used to hold
And welcome
me
to
down.
Handmade by Ditsy Tulip. I'm Mel and welcome to my channel. Today is going to be a different type of video. I'm not going to be sharing anything that I've made or any fabrics or anything like that, but it is a video in response to a couple of requests that I've had, and that is in relation to whether there's any hints or tips or any information that I can share about interfacings and interlinings. And funnily enough, I did get sent a sample pack through from Lady So-and-so, which contains lots of different interfacings and interlinings, and it gives a little bit of information about what it's called and what you should use each one for. So what I'm going to do is walk through this pack and explain to you, show you the sample of the interfacing and explain what it says on the label as to what you can use that for. So it may be that I'm sharing some types of interfacing that you didn't know even existed, because there's quite a few in here that I didn't even know existed. So yeah, that's what I'm going to share today. I will pre-warn you that I'm sure I'm going to pronounce a lot of these things totally wrong, because there's lots of weird and wonderful names for these, and even the brand name I'm not quite sure how you say. So it's this brand, and I'm going to pronounce it as Vaseline. I'm sure that's totally wrong, but you know what I mean anyway, it's that brand. So yeah, that's what I'm going to walk through today. So if this isn't the type of video that you're here for, then feel free to skip on this one. I won't be offended at all, because I know not everybody likes these types of videos, but if you are interested, then do watch on. The first thing that I'll share is, in the pack there were a few different booklets, and I'm sure that you'll be able to get these online if you visit the Vaseline. I bet I'm saying that totally different than the first time I said it. If you visit their website, I'm sure that you'd be able to get these booklets on there. But you've got one which specifically walks through the dressmaking range, so there's lots of nice photos and different types of interfacings that you can get. There is one which is a high-level overview of the overall product range. And there's one that's specifically for patchwork and quilting. So I'll put a link to the website in the video notes. If I can find the booklets specifically, I'll link to those, but I'm not sure because I've not checked in advance whether they are online. So before I start to walk you through what's in the pack, I just wanted to share some hints and tips that I've picked up along the way when working with interfacings. So the first thing that I would say is you need to make sure that you're using the right weight of interfacing for the fabric that you're working with and the garment that you're making. So for example, I'll just grab this because it's still hanging up in here. I've recently made the silk blouse, the silk Nina Lee blouse, so I made sure that I used and I needed to interface the collar and also where the buttons go at the back of the blouse. So I made sure that I used the lighter weight interfacing, which was for silks. But I didn't use there's some that you can get which is really, really lightweight, and that wouldn't have given the level of stability that I need for the collar to stand up, and also to ensure that the buttonholes don't tear or rip. So although I didn't use the really, really lightweight, it wasn't a heavyweight because that would have been too much for the fabric. In fact, I can show you what I used. Although I can't tell you what the name of it is. This is my most common type of interfacing that I use, and I get it from my local Abercrombie. You just buy it off the roll. It's not the cheap stuff. It is about £4.50 a metre or something like that, but I find it really good. And if I come in and show you, it feels like a really lightweight cotton on the outside, and then it's got the glue on the other side, so it is still quite soft and drapey, and it does work with a wide variety of fabrics. And of course, once you do press it and the glue softens, it does go softer than that as well. So let me walk you through this pack now then. So the first one I've got actually feels very similar to that one that I just said I get from Abercrombie. It feels quite similar in weight, and it is feels like a woven fabric on the outside. So this is called, I'll put text in as well, G700 woven interlining. So it is quite soft. And it says that this is ideal for small parts of blouses and shirts. It's ideal for t-shirts and quilts, so quite a versatile one that. So that's the G700. I've then got this one, which is a gridded interlining, and this says it's quilter's grid, fusible 1 inch square quick screen. So this says it's a fusible, non-woven interfacing with a 1 inch printed grid for precision piecing of quilting projects. It's helpful with the construction of wall hangings and quilts that utilise cut fabric squares, and makes arranging fabric easy without the bother of pinning. So yeah, that sounds super useful if you're a quilter. I've then got this one, which is really soft. It's also stretchy. And this is the H609 Jersey Fusible Interlining. So yeah, that's that one. And this says it's a fusible knit interlining made out of fine polyamide yarn with a very soft and elegant hand and feel. And it certainly does have. This is the next one. So this feels quite papery, and this is, oh, I've no idea how I'm supposed to pronounce this, Solufleece 321 water soluble embroidery backing. So this says it's water soluble at 25 to 30 degrees. It's for embroidery backing for all machine embroideries and new creative works like crashing or crazy techniques. So I'm not familiar with what they are, but I have used this in the past when I have done some machine embroidery, and it just makes sure that when you're doing the embroidery, of course, you've got a lot of thread, you've got a lot of needles, and if you don't give it some stability, it will go out of shape or it can cause holes and things. But then you want to remove it afterwards. So with this, you put it in water and then that will just dissolve away. This is another one that feels like paper, but it feels a bit more waxy. Another one that I don't know how to pronounce. This is Fixia Stickvlees Fuse and Tear 322 iron-on embroidery backing. So that's the label. So this says it's a fusible stabiliser for machine embroideries, especially on elastic fabric. Fusible stabiliser for machine embroideries, especially on elastic fabrics. For patchwork use instead of freezer paper. It can be used to print in inkjet printers too. So yeah, definitely one that looks like it's got a few different uses, that one, and I've never heard of that and I've never used it. So that was Fixia Stickvlees Fuse and Tear 322. Then got this one. So this is a stable one. It feels a little bit like flattened cotton wool. And this is the S13/2V313 stable and dense sew-in interlining. And this one says it's a high quality Vilene interfacing that has heavier handle and ideal for use in coat weight materials and heavier craft projects. It's perfect for using with wools, tweeds, gabardine and craft fabrics. And I must say the quality of it does feel absolutely lovely. But this isn't a fusible, this is a sew-in. I've got another one which looks like a sheet of paper that's got glue on, but it's one where you will remove the paper backing. And this is called Stretch Fix. And it says Stretch Fix is particularly suitable for jersey fabrics. Due to its elasticity, the stretchability of the jersey fabric is retained and there's no danger of detachment in applications. So I didn't know that you can get something like this, and that would be great for working with jerseys, because your jersey will then still keep its full stretchability. And I can see, so yeah, you definitely do remove the paper backing, because I can see it slightly peeling away at the edge there. So it'll give you the stability that you need, but it won't then lose the stretchability of the fabric. So that's called Stretch Fix. I've then got this. I've used a bit of this when I was making handbags. So this is a firm and stable one, and this is called Decaville I 1-to-1. So it says Decaville I 1-to-1 is tear resistant, but also dimensionally stable and easy to shape. Furthermore, it's resilient to bending, it's punchable, and the cutting edges stay tight. Thereby, fixed fabrics are good to handle and very stable and durable. It's ideally suited for the creation of hats, belts, bags, and small fabric bowls, but also interior decoration. So it's not one for dressmaking, that, it's one more for your hats and bags and things like that. But yeah, it does feel great quality. And then finally, this is another really firm one, and this is called the S133 Belia 300 L25. I don't know why they give them such complicated names. And this is a very firm interlining. It says it's very firm and compact interlining for fabric bowls, peaks of caps, the bottom of bags, as well as for creative works. So I can definitely see how that would work if you were doing a bag where you wanted to keep the bottom of it stable. That will definitely work for that. And when I shared a hat that I was making for my dad, and I was looking for something to use for the peak of the cap, quite a few people did suggest this or something similar to it, and I can see how that would work for that as well, because it is really stable. So that was the S133 Belia 300 L25. So that is it. That is the samples that I wanted to just walk through. And as I say, I'm not an expert. I've not used most of those, but hopefully it will give you an insight that there are some really specialist interfacings and interlinings out there that'll be work perfectly with your project. So I just wanted to make you aware of what was available. So as I said, if you do have more experience of working with interlinings and interfacings, and you can share any more information in the comments below, feel free to add any links to your favourites, any links to blog posts that you've done, or any videos of your own where you can share any useful information. So that's it, that's all I wanted to share today. Do give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and if you don't subscribe already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. And there's when you hit subscribe, there's a little alarm that you can hit as well if you want to receive notifications when I release a new video. So have a wonderful week, whatever you're up to, and I will see you very soon. Bye.
Just like a child, I live in Wonderland. All my dreams are coming true. Heavy shackles used to hold me down. Now my feet don't even reach the ground.